Greeley! Hello, my lovely. How are you today? Should I say hi? Do I look presentable on camera? I don't know if I do yet. Let me put on some face. Simple. I know. I set the title to a kind of a dicey one. I don't know if it's going to work out for me or not, but um, um, yeah, you know what I mean. What am I doing here? Let's give it a try. Did you get your pack? Did you get your Christmas present? Hi, here I am. I'll put me up there. Over there? Where should I put me? Here? Gorgeous, I know. Isn't that incredible? I know, I'm looking pretty posh. It's got a little bit of the shoulder action going. Not yet. Well, it should be there probably this coming week, you know. Oh my God, did you see my nails? Aren't they gorgeous? I'm like a Christmas ornament. Gorgeous. So, how's it going? How are you doing? Don't have to tell me. You can just nod and smile. I hope it's going better, honestly. I think of you constantly in my dreams, swooning. Oh, nods and smiles. I've noticed you come in and be quiet and then you vanish and I appreciate that you are there sometimes, but no pressure, no pressure at all, never. Just our continued contact is more joy than I could have, than I could hope for, really. Yeah. So I don't know what I was going to do today. I was probably either going to work on the Roblox game or I was going to. Well, I don't really, that's the only project. I mean, I could work on the bot. It's always got problems that I could try to fix. And so that's a thing. Um, is this working? Boop. I don't think YouTube is working. I set up the YouTube channel as well. You're playing games. Are you playing Dead by Daylight in the daylight? You know it. You know what? My kids told me about this game, and I forget what it's called, but you are a crew of four on a planet, on a remote planet, hired by the corporation to go and collect scraps from these abandoned outposts. And on the planets, there are monsters. Oh, is that what it is? You know about it? There's monsters, and if you die or it's the hot new game. Oh, because it's monsters. See, I don't like monsters. They scare me. They scare me terribly. It's just what it is. But my kids have they have a little squad, so there's four of them, and they've been playing it, and they had some pretty funny videos that they shared with me. It's the chaos of it all sounds fun, but I don't like monsters. I don't like being scared. like it. Yeah, the bot is not communicating to YouTube, it seems. What is my state? My state is offline. Why is my state offline? Is it time to refresh the token? Are we enabled? I get so easily distracted. Yes, we are enabled. So try to get the broadcast. Oh. Seriously scary. I'm going to make that be equal to 0. Shit. Zero. Send. And they were still offline. I don't know why it says they were offline. Weird. Yeah, I just don't do scary. And the new GTA update is total garbage. It's so bad. It's totally uninteresting trash. It's unbelievable. Why isn't this working? Anyways, you're busy. That's cool. I'm gonna just fiddle fart here, I guess. I set the stream title to 30-year, like real braggy, bitchy thing. It's like 30-year game dev, ask me anything. Kind of like try to attract some kind of attention or something. Have people visit me, maybe. I'm just lonely. I'm off for the Christmas. I took an extra week of vacation, and then we get the week off at Christmas, so I got 2 weeks off. So my intention over the next week is to stream a bunch and try to make this game get it stood up more. Have you seen how far I've made it so far? Oh, that's my car. This is how far I've gotten so far. I added some user interface. I don't know if what the interface even should be. I'm just playing so I can learn it. But you press play, and it loads, and there's dancing cubes bouncing around, and if you run into them, they turn brown for 5 seconds, and then they vanish. Bloop. And then the theory was that maybe they could in my head, they would rot away, kind of like they would rust out of the sky, so they would animate into and then they would crumble or something. Or that there's better ones higher up, and so maybe if one gets low, or there's certain ones that aren't jiggling as much, so you come up and you jump on top of it, and now you can jump up to the next one before it vanishes in a kind of a Mario World kind of parkour thing. That might be a little bit too hard, but what's more important, and what I was going to add here, was like a little loot bag or something, an inventory or a big number, a count of how many items, how many pieces of scrap you picked up. So I'm kind of inventing the game design in the vacuum of my kids not really knowing how to do it. What I'm imagining is all of this stuff is scrap. And you collect the scrap, and once you have enough scrap, you can put down a fabricator. And the fabricator will have a grid, kind of hologram, and then you can build your vehicle on the hologram grid, and the parts that you need are collected. The fabricator, just you load it up with more scrap. So you have to go and collect more scrap, and you put the scrap into the fabricator, and then it can make parts, and then you can slowly build your car. But then certain parts, either they cost more or you have to obtain them. And so in the landscape there will be citadels or something, bases, points of interest with guardians guarding them, and you will be able to do melee or ranged attacks on these things, and if you kill them, they drop a weapon which you can chew up to get ammo, or you. So, anyways, so the next thing, as far as I'm concerned, that I have to do here, I was going to experiment a little bit with the UI, and then I was going to experiment with the fabricator, which I don't know what that really. I have no. I kind of have a visualization of it. So if I hit stop, I guess I would want. I have an idea. Okay, let's just go with something here. Fabrication manager. So the fabrication manager needs a fabricator. So let's add a module script, and this thing is called the fabricator. Fabricator. And the fabricator, we're going to make it look like scrap here. We're going to copy everything from here, copy, and put everything in here, paste. I brushed my hair and now there's hair everywhere. From the number of years I haven't picked hair out of the wheels of my chair, I did it recently. I was like on a cleaning binge. Oh my God, it's just tied around all 5 wheels of this chair to where the chair doesn't even really roll anymore. I'm so terrible. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to create a self ID is fabricator. I don't know. I guess ID is 999. I don't know what the ID is. There is no ID. Self ID equals there's no ID. 1. I don't know what the ID is. 999999999. How about that? And the self dot name equals fabricator. And the self part, so we're going to call this self part. The self part instance part, the size, I'm going to put the word self in front of everything now. Base, 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 base. The position, I guess, see, the thing is, the position is mutable. We can change the position of this thing based on where you want to teleport the position. Maybe when you come into the world, blunk, there's a fabricator. And it has like a tutorial sign over it that says, feed me scrap. How about that? That's a good idea. Jeez, that's a great idea. But the position, I mean, yeah, I'll spawn it in at the position of the player wherever they spawn, and then they just blink. You always have your fabricator near you. Maybe? No, it just gets put somewhere. I don't know. I'm not sure here yet. Anyways, the fabricator, we're going to make the fabricator be a 2 by 2 by 2, and we're going to put it at a position anchored smooth, and we'll make it, I don't know, what color should we make it? There's like a thing about all of these colors. I'm looking for color. There was a big table of these things. Okay, I just have to Google the damn thing. Roblox colors. Color codes. Here we go. Ooh, what color should the fabricator be? Nougat? Bright violet? Bright reddish violet? How about that? Let's go with that. And then we anchor it. And when our part is touched and it's the human, we could disconnect it. No, I don't know what they do. I don't know what our I'm not going to do anything. I'm just going to, I don't need to hold on to this stuff. Maybe we activate it. How about that? So is there a not bright reddish violet? So when we're touching it, it changes to bright red. So we'll make that be self part brick part color is whatever Termedi reddish violet is. We'll make it this. And we are not going to destroy it. And we're not going to pick it up. What we're going to do is we're going to do something. I don't know what we're going to do, but it's going to be something like print. You are now using the fabricator. Some sort of thing happens. Some sort of new interaction is possible. Okay, so that's what's happening. And I don't have to set the part because it's already set. And I don't have to print anything. And then that's my thing. So now I have a fabricator and it will be somewhere. And its position will be, is this part of the map manager or part of the world? So the world registers the player and runs forever managing the map. And the map has initialized by spawning a bunch of scrap. And probably the map is going to have bright reddish. What did you put? Bright reddish violet. Ooh, did you look up the same? Ooh, did you look up the same? Color chart. So here's what I'm going to imagine. So here, position. We need to place this. So the player manager is just hooking up to the active player. You can imagine it? Well, it's going to happen. You don't have to imagine it soon. Pretty soon your eyeballs will be peeled back to the reality of what it is. Script. Maybe I'll just do it here. I'll just go local fabricator equals underscore G. No, how do I make this? The fabricator manager? Because the fabricator manager, I imagine, is going to allow you to teleport it around. Maybe maybe it goes. How do I make these? I don't remember. G scrap new. Okay, this is what I want to do. That's what I want to do. So maybe I'll go fabricator manager will create the fabricator and then I'll make a move fabricator command. I won't worry about that. I'm going to want to hack it in here. So let's just go blap and all of this goes away. And we got G fabricator new, and then we are going to place it at 5, 0, 5. And we don't need all these extra new lines. Woo! And now we have a fabricator. And we don't need a letter I. What is that? Oh, that's the ID. Fabricator. Well, in terms of ID, it's kind of cute that I've done that. You know what? Equals ID. I might keep that, and I'll just put this be 9999999, comma. So that's the special fabricator ID. Play. So we should see a bright, oh, there it is. And then we are now standing on it, and you are now using the fabricator. Some sort of interaction is possible. And it turns pink, and then it doesn't turn back to pink when we stopped interacting with it. Okay, we need to fix that. How do we know when we've stopped colliding with something? That's a good question. How to Roblox, how to detect stop connect. Aha, more efficient way of detecting when a person touches and stops touching. I have used touch event to trigger a loop that detects whether or not the player is in a region. If they is in a region, oh, okay, so then I would have to have a, all this needs is to be connected to a touch signal, add debounce to avoid unnecessary amount of loops and utilize a while loop correctly. Using magnitude would be much easier and efficient as region. Magnitude check for the player if close enough. Don't loop this too often. Region 3 is a mention. Okay, what am I reading? I've been trying to create an efficient system that detects when a player touches an object then stops touching. The reason I've created this thread is because I have found a reasonable solution. It uses a while loop, which concerns me. My main question is, are you guys familiar with a better way to detect when a person starts and stops touching an object? Well, so that really comes down to polling. My 2 attempts are down below. First attempt was to use touched and touch-ended events, along with get touch parts method to detect when player initially touched the object. Player's character was then added to a table. When the object stopped touching something, get touch parts was used to see if the player wasn't touching the object. The code is here. How does a person insert code in the post? Paste bin. Here's a GIF of this method not working how I intended. The second method I used was based on region 3s. By using a while true do loop, in each iteration I called a function that added players that were in the region and then removed players that were not in the region. The code is here. Ooh. Ooh. That's a terrible. Okay, well, what we just learned is that there is a function called touch-ended. So let's go with that for now. If we can have a touch started, copy. Why is there a bracket there? That feels like an error. Oh no, it's part of the connect function. So now we're going to go touch ended. And if we are not being touched by anything, we're going to go back to our brick color of bright reddish violet. Boop. And we will print the fabricator is available. So if that works, then that's purely event-based, and I approve. Now, what we also don't need is if you are connected, we could disconnect the touch command so we're not being spammed it. And that we got from Scrap. So we could promptly disconnect it. Fabricator disconnect. And this is our no-hit callback. So we can disconnect our no-hit and then we can connect. How do I do this? Can I, how do I reconnect it? I'd never asked this question before. I'm going to learn something new. If I've saved that, I really want to save this function and disconnect the touched callback and then reconnect the touch callback. I don't know how to do that. Can I? Okay, let's ask that as a question. Roblox, how to connect, disconnect, reconnect touched function on an object. Need help with connecting and disconnecting functions. Okay, so I have a function, connection, connect function thing. Connection, disconnect, hovered, right. As expected, the parent hovered and left one time, then stopped. I want to reconnect it. I don't think connecting is necessary if you're just wanting to detect when the mouse hovers the links. You should. Yes, that's not what he's doing a test. This makes sense. I read the def 4 and got confused. Always call disconnect when a connection is no longer needed. Forgetting to do so can use too much. However, when should I disconnect? Pretty much when you don't need them anymore. So if you save the connection, connect, check change, new value 50. I'll stop listening for any more changes. Disconnect. Check change. Oh, okay. So you just defined the function that you are connecting to. So instead of making it a lambda like this, then I would go instead the hit callback. We're going to take this piece of this and we're going to chop it out. And we're going to connect this is going to be the hit function. And then we're going to end the function. And then we're going to self dot hit callback equals touch connect with our self dot underscore hit function bracket end, or there's no end. There's just that. That's why there was an end function. So there, we've defined our function, and if it's this, then that, blah, and then we attach it. And then we have our no-hit callback and our no-hit function. So we'll take the function part, blurb, and we'll go self dot boop boop no-hit function equals function, banana banana. And then our no-hit callback will take that and just move it below. And we will connect our self dot bloop bloop no hit function. And so, what does that mean? I'll define the functions and then I'll attach them. So what does that mean? It means that when we get a hit, we disconnect it. When we get a no hit, we disconnect the no hit so that we're not continually not hitting it, and we reconnect the hit, and we reconnect the no hit. Isn't that fun? So if that works, uh-oh, what did that say? That said touched end is not a function. Okay, well that's in a dumb place. But it says touch ended is not a valid member of part work. It isn't, eh? Well, why would they say it is? Now I gotta go look. Roblox part connect methods. Built-in events. Okay, what do we got? Part, on part touched. Touched. You can also connect anonymous functions. Yeah. Disconnecting. Disconnect. Waiting for events to fire. Touched. If you want your script to yield into specific fires, use the wait. This method returns events arguments you can assign. Was that the only ones? That's it? There's just touched and no touched? Or just touched? I need more information. Custom events and callbacks? Get service script things, bindable events, event connect, print data. Connect anonymous method to an event. Bindable event connect data. Custom callbacks. Yeah, remote. But what are the events? I don't understand. Roblox. Touched. Events documentation. Oh, that's it. Part touched. List part events. Category events. No, not silly. Timeline of robot. No, I don't want robot part connect events. List of. Is there a way to get all events connected to an object? Deeper understanding into connect function. Connect function connects a function with an event. Well, what are all the events? Practical guide to studio events. Okay, here we go. You can access the full course. I don't want a course. You can rename it touched button. Can collide. Touched connect. Touch connect. Players added. Transcript. See, in my universe, there's a list of these things. There's a freaking list of things and the events that they have that are built-in events. The only built-in events that they're listing. Many objects have built-in events provided by their API that automatically respond to specific actions or changes related to those objects. For example, player character touching a part automatically fires a base part touched event. Most built-in events are synchronous, so you can connect a function for following custom behaviors in certain things. Connecting event. Okay, so I guess I could go to part. Summary, properties, methods, events. Base events inherited from base things. Local simulation touched, deprecated, deprecated, deprecated. Touch ended the other part. Wow. So that is a thing. Oh, touched ended. See, you got to spell things right if you want things to work. Now I know. And I know how. I see, look at that. So there's only two messages, touched and touched ended. Hello, Arnie. Welcome. What do I need help with? Oh gosh, that's a big question. I really can't do yard work anymore. It's winter time though, so there isn't a lot of yard work to be done. Oh, I keep forgetting. You know what? I'm gonna hit stop. I'm gonna move this. It's in a bad position. It's in a bad neighborhood. My fabricator is. I'm gonna make it bigger. I'm gonna make it 5 by 5 by 5, so that it's bigger, and I'm going to position it a little bit further away. I'll make it 10. 10. There we go. Play. There it is. It's purple. And then I stand on it, and it's pink. And when I walk away, it's purple, and it's pink. Uh-oh. Yikes, something's bad's happening. Stop. What the hell is happening? Oh, I asked too much of it. Stop. I think I've killed it. I think it's dead, Jim. I'm going to have to task manager the thing. Oh, yeah, CPU went all the way to the roof. Oh, it stopped. No, it didn't stop. I'm going to have to kill the whole process, damn it. Process, Roblox Studios, end task. That's better. Still got a lot of CPU load going on here. That's all working again, so that's good. What's not supposed to, though, like here, now that you're here, now that I have a veritable expert, thank you for showing up, by the way. Auto recovery, sure, open. So this is just a test. I'm creating my fabricator object at 1010. We know that. And I have my fabricator class, which is here, which is, it doesn't need, only needs to be 1 unit tall, I guess. I don't know. Anyways, I've created a hit function and a no hit function, and I'm attaching the hit function on touched and the no hit function on touch ended. And then when you hit the hit function, I disconnect the hit callback, and then I attach the no hit callback. And then when the no hit function fires, I detach the no hit function and reattach the hit function. So maybe they're like flickering like crazy. As soon as it detects that you're not hitting, it's kind of going. I'm just trying to get rid of a while loop. I don't want polling. It should be purely event based. Maybe I don't need to disconnect the no hit function. I just don't want it to be constantly triggering that you're not hit it unless touch ended is fired once, and I don't need to do that. So if I don't need to do that, but I do need to reconnect the hit function, then maybe that's all I need to do. I definitely want to disconnect the hit function, and I don't need to disconnect or play around with that. These things are just attached, and then I'm reconnecting. That might work. Maybe that's a more... Hello, Modrith. Poland. Welcome. I don't know how to say hello in Polish. There's my purple thing. Here we go. We're going to crash this again. Oh, look at that. It's landing on each foot. So we're hitting it, and now we're not hitting it. That's working better. I think it was all of the... Now, where's my console? I don't have my console. Where's the console thing? View? Console? Output? The fabricator is available. So yeah, I got 1048 of those. So that doesn't seem right, does it? A variable there is to limit parallel calls. Okay, yeah, I can do that. So you mean just go self dot hit debounce equals true or false or something, or 1 or 0 or something, and then if we're hit, we don't disconnect, we self dot hit debounce equals true, and what then if self dot hit debounce is true, false? I don't know. What the hell am I doing? We only want to do this when we are in la la la. It's going to hit it constantly. I'm getting my brain backwards. I'm excited at a new solution, and then I don't think it through. I just start coding. It is not hit. It is now hit. See, I can't help but think how I disconnect the function. If it's set. Yeah. And do my thing and then turn it off at the end of the function. Right? Or turn it off in the disconnect. So if hit and parent and thing, so I could basically just do this. If the self debounce and if its debounce is not true, I'll make it I'll make it opposite. If it's false, how do I test for false? If it's equal to false and thing, then that. Otherwise true, and then we can do our thing. Take that away, and then in the false function, we can go self dot hit debounce equals false. That's what you're saying. Oh, if not? Oh. Shit. I'm a C++ programmer. If not, la la la. There we go. You're amazing. Thank you, Arnie. Oh, how do I pronounce that? Zizek? Modrith, it is 11:30 in the morning here in Vancouver, Canada. I am actually, yeah, I am old. I have been programming for a long time, so look at that. Oh, that's so, Arnie, you're so great. Yeah, I know, I'm a full-time software dev. I've been developing for 30 years. Wait a minute, it didn't work. See, look at that. Every time I pick up my feet. I guess that's not a problem. I could make it squishy. I could make it, I don't know how to pronounce that. Sh, shg. Are you making me say shit or something? Skez? I don't know how to pronounce CZESC with accents. That is just beyond my brain cell capacity. Okay, so the idea though, see, it's kind of, it's indeterminate. It's disconnecting it sometimes and then it's reconnecting it. See, now it doesn't think I'm connected. It says I'm available. And now it says I'm using it. And then it's available. What's going on? There, now I'm embedded in it. So it absolutely knows I'm using it. But now I'm on top of it. So there's like some kind of funny state. Oh. Wouldn't you get multiple insertions though? Wouldn't you get it hit? I believe you. I'm going to see if that makes a difference. I'm not convinced it will. Yeah, see? So this, for some reason or another, has moved me. So this is part of their physics formula where they're pushing my character up so that it sits on top of the object. And once it's on top of the object, I'm no longer touching it. Whereas I take a step, and the step punches through the thing, which tells me that it's there. So this is, I mean, I've written physics code before, so I know what's actually happening to this physics object touching these things. So it's actually falling through the floor a little bit, which generates the touch, and then it lifts it back up so that it's not touching. Okay, let me read. Copy. English to Polish. Switch. Polish.
Cześć.
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 Cześć. Is that right? Did I do it good? Cześć. Or happily. Cześć. You put the debounce at the end of the false. At the end of the function. At the end of... That sets the debounce. Really? But then it would hit again. That doesn't... Okay, now I'm confused because that doesn't make any sense. If I put the debounce... Oh. Really? Maybe I believe you. Okay, let's try that. So I'm debouncing true, and then I'm debouncing false there. And that way the body of this is not happening multiple times. And then when I walk away, I am printing that it is now pink, or it goes back to its normal color. So I go here. Yeah, see, I'm right. The weird problem here is continuous interaction. The fact that this physical object has been buoyed up above the plane of this tile. See, look at that. I'm wiggling into the floor. Cześć. You're a Windows Task Manager developer? Oh my. I've been a game developer for forever. Ironically, you'd think I'd be better at it. But in truth, I'm an engine developer. So, for whatever that counts for anything, mostly networking and databases. Get out of my way. Bloink. I guess the more right way would be to create a larger box that I am inside, and then it's a hit zone, and then the objects inside of it are controlled by that, and that way I'm always inside the object. So the question would be how to create an object that I can collide with, but not be not have that doesn't have physical space. So to figure that out, let's go learn something here. Let's make a part. Let's make a block. Okay. And I made 2 blocks. So what can I do with a block? It has, you can collide with it. Oh, but can you touch it? So I can turn off the touchability of it. Collision group. Oh. Custom physical properties? Like what? Mass? Massless? If true, the part will be massless when welded to another part and it's not massless. Part will still have okay, we don't want, so we want it to be a collidable touchless object so that we can walk through it, right? So let's do it to this one. Can touch. I want to go to my script. There's got to be a setting for that, right? So it part can touch equals false with an F. So if that's false, then we should be able to we'll walk through this part. No. Oh, now we can't touch it. What? And now we can't collide with it. So, oh, maybe it's the other way around. It's the other way around. We can touch it, but we can't collide with it. Can collide is false. Yes. That's how you make a hotspot. Okay, cool beans. We now have a hotspot. And then what I would do is that would be that part, and then the fabricator would be a big object in front of you with a bunch of things. And then when you're in this, a different user interface appears, and you can place blocks with your mouse or something, and things would happen. Isn't that fun? Whereas this thing, you can collide, and so you can step on it. Okay. I am such a learner. We don't want you anymore. You are an unwanted block. Fabricator. So we have this one part that is the hotspot. So we're not going to call it the part. We're going to call it the interaction hotspot or something. Can I select it by column? Hotspot. I don't know. Boop, boop. Oh, don't do that. Boop, boop, boop. I'm a Visual Studio user as well, so I'm not used to this. Perfect. We now have, let's make sure I spelled everything correctly, universally. Nope, I didn't. What the fuck? the hotspot part, what did I do wrong? Oh, I called it part. Okay, so I've got my hits, I've got my part, we're in the hotspot, play, double check. There we go. And then I can make, I don't know, fabricator. So we've got our hotspot, and then we need a part, which is the fabricator itself. And then it'll have a grid, which will be kind of auto-expandable. So I'm not sure. I have a vision of it in my head. I kind of imagine, I guess I've got an editor right in front of me. I mean, I could go to home here. What? What? Where's the terrain? Workspace? How do I go back to the other view? View? Ooh? Huh? This view. What did it do? What does it call this? View selector? So when I select code, oh, I go there. Okay. What I'm imagining is the part stretched. I don't know how you Q? Nope. Are there editable to edit tools for this? Move, scale, Control 3. Oh God. Control 3. Okay, so we have our tile, and then we make another block, and it would be not attached there, it would be a little pillar. Ooh. It would be like there. Maybe it like that. And then we would make another part, and it would be flat. It would be a tile, but I want it to be up, floating. And then I want to copy that over and over and over. Duplicate. And then I would do exactly like this. I would make this one color. Color is medium gray. And then we'll make this one less gray. And we make them translucent. Can I make them translucent? Transparency? Make them 50% transparent? 55? Sure. And then that one, transparency is 55. But I want them to be different colors. So I might make gray and gray. And maybe I'll go pink and gray. And make it more transparent, because that's, there we go. And that's not transparent enough. That's too transparent. Like that. And then, can I select two of them and duplicate them both? I can. And then I can select all four. One, two, three, four. Duplicate. And then go sideways and sideways. And then duplicate them again. And then sideways. And then I have my little editor grid, that hologram, and then when you're standing here, you get kind of like a GTA car shop view, and then you have your inventory, and you place blocks, and then you kind of boop, beep, boop, beep, boop, beep, boop. I don't know. What do you think? Does it sound stupid? Or does it sound fabulous? I'm not getting. Canute! So good to see you. Bonjour. What do you think of my fabricator design? like it. Is there a way to turn this into a script? So like I place all of this and then I it automatically like it tells me all of the commands that it takes to make that? Or do I have a part template somewhere that I just instantiate the model? I'm not really sure what's the right way. I mean, that would be the better way, because I don't know. I'm not sure, because I also think that this is kind of a dynamic field, that when you start out you only have like one part, and maybe so you only have like a 3x3, but you add one part and then it immediately adds more grid around it, so that if you've built out to here, the hologram kind of continually expands to allow you to build a bigger vehicle. So confusing. I don't really know. I don't know the design. I'm making it up. Let's paint you black or something. Blue. And we already know that you are violet? No, you're like this nice soft pink color. Some kind of color like that. Okay, well, that's my question. Roblox. Create a model, save as script commands. How can I save a full model? Hey there, everybody. I'm trying to make a model. You can serialize each object into a Lua table and save that via database. The model contains a lot of things: parts, folders, values. Was there a problem getting or saving to a database? I guess so. Data store, data stream, get async key. With your designated image. Alright. Where do I put that? Since it cannot be saved. Instance store. Here's how to quick search. I've never personally used this kind of thing. How do you save a model? How do I export model? How do you make your own model? How do you save a script? Gosh. How to save models. In this Roblox scripting tutorial, you'll learn how to save your own creations in Roblox. No. Saving data. The tutorial shows how to create basic data store, save sample data, create a new script, how to save models, how to save data. I don't know. I mean, like, really what I want is this is a placeable. The hotspot is relative to the terminal of the fabricator. And then the hologram is programmatic. So I think I have to programmatically generate this. This would be the model, I'm guessing. And it would just be a 1x1, or what is a 1x1 anyways? Let's create a part. We'll make a block. We'll put it there. And we will make it size 1x1x1. That's so small. Or maybe I'm just making everything really big. I don't know. Because if I play 1x1 is tiny. Oh, that's movable. And then these things, they're supposed to be floating. Oh, what? I think I made them physical. So if I select What's happening? I think that's all of them. Cast shadow, sure. Material, plastic, sure. What can I make? Which other materials are there? Can I make it glass, ice? Diamond plate? Asphalt? Cracked lava? Oh, I like that. Can I animate that? Locked means determines whether building tools. No, we don't want that. Position, can touch, anchored. Massless. Well, I guess I don't need that. Now if I do that, they will be where they are, right? Oh, stop. I missed that one. That one should be made out of cracked lava 2, and it should be anchored 2, and then I need to select, 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 and you can not collide or can query. I don't know what that means. Play. Should be able to just run through the hologram now. Perfect. The terminal shouldn't be a block either. Stupid. That part is anchored. That's anchored already. Okay, play. Perfect. Okay. What would be fun would be to animate. Can you animate the texture? I want to animate Roblox animate lava texture. Lava material. Animate. With the click of a button. Okay. Hello, my friend made a texture plugin. It creates animated textures. Okay, that's absolutely not what I'm asking. Do I have to make a shader or something? Material. Material variant. What is that? They do not give you any ability to change those settings. What's going on in the realm of Canute today? Busy doing Canute things. Everything's gone quiet. There was people talking, and now there's nobody. Everybody left. Everybody went silent. Anyways, that looks awful. I hate it. Maybe they shouldn't be made out of lava. Maybe it should be made out of cobblestone? Brick. Asphalt. Diamond plate. Foil. Force field. Oh, it has little points. I like that. Or maybe I don't. A glacier. Glass. Let's make it out of glass. Yeah, because it catches shadow. Okay, so what are we trying to do here? We have the hotspot idea. We want, there's the terminal. So, is there a button? Duplicate, show orientation, select connections, insert object, save to file, save to Roblox, export selection. What does save to file do? A Roblox model file. So I can just load that as a model? That's fascinating. So this would be the model. I want this to be saved as the model, and then I can load that. This is a magical grid that I create. So I'm going to, because that's programmatic. That's going to get created as you interact with it. Okay, so let's just take all these parts and delete them. Well, no, I won't do that yet. So like, I have go back to scripts, fabricator. We have the hotspot itself. Ooh! We have the, oops, load fabricator terminal. And then we're gonna generate build grid. And then the rules about the build grid are, what are the rules? The rules of the build grid are that it is always one tile bigger in all directions than a place tile. It is always, okay, let's make that as a grid. Always one tile bigger in all directions except terminal, then placed blocks. How's that? So what is that going to look like? A, how big are blocks? If blocks are just 1 by 1s, then they're tiny and you're going to take a billion little blocks to make up a car. If blocks are big, then I need to ask my designer Yay! Morning. Everybody's saying stuff. Yay! Okay, so the grid, the load the terminator or the terminal. I'm gonna just place it. So I'm gonna basically copy this code, and I'm gonna say we've got a part. I'm gonna get rid of that. I don't really know why that is. We're gonna load so this one is the terminal. Boop, 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 boop. You can touch it and you can collide with it. It is anchored. Its position is relative to the base position along a cardinal direction, right? So if we're going to take this position and we're going to have a 5 by 1 by 5, the terminal position is going to be a new vector, vector3 dot new position dot x plus 5 on the x, comma position dot y, comma position dot z. And in theory, we will then have that be placed relative to the thing along the x-axis right next to it. And what it will be a 3, and we won't have it touch. We'll make it like 5 plus 1. So we'll just offset it a little bit. So it'll be 3 wide by 4 tall by 3 wide. And then the Z position needs to be, I don't know what it needs to be. We'll figure that out. Other things that we need to do is we're going to change this color. We'll just make it blue, I guess. Blue. Is that a color? We're going to go find our colors, our color table. I figured I'd leave that up there somewhere. Because, colors? 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 Oh, here we go. Sand blue. Metallic sand blue. Sand blue metallic. How about that? And that's our thing. Play. I don't know if that's going to be right. Oh, almost. So we want it, I did center it, so we definitely know that it is on the, so that's positive x, eh? If I stopped and, well, I can't. It needs to be closer. So I've put it off by 1. I'll just not do that. Fabricator. I will move it position x plus 5. It should be closer. It's always squishing. Okay, so now I just need it to be even skinnier. Let's make it skinnier. I want it to be look more like that. What is the dimensions of that? 253. Okay. Okay. Fabricator. Make it 2 wide by 5 tall by 3. Play. Oh, it's embedded in the floor, I bet. How do I... Okay, so if it's... the Z position, or the Y position has to be plus 2? I don't know. Plus 3? Plus 2.5? So that's... So now it's too tall. We'll make it 4. And we'll make it 2. Play. Perfect. So we're on here, and there, and now I just want it to be tucked in a little bit. So its position is going to be x plus 5 minus its width, which is 2. So minus 2.5 should actually have it press right up against it. Oh. Oh. -1? Not quite sure about this. Because if x is 2 and is always taking it on the center, 2 point a little bit. Very interesting. I'm not quite sure about the dimensions that I'm playing with here. It's 2 minus 2, 1.5? 1.5? This doesn't make any sense. Doesn't make any sense. Okay, well there's our terminal. And then, floating off in that direction, like this, will be our grid. So the grid. And this thing has got, I mean, initialized to a 4 by 3. Okay, so the base grid, so the next, the grid is minimum 4 by 3. So I think when we load up the thing, I'm not quite sure what's going to happen. If you drive your vehicle into the grid and it sucks it up into the grid and the grid draws it small and then it spams it out as big. So many questions. if you were building a car as 1x1 tiles, wheels would be a 4x4. I don't know. I'm confused. Let's just make a grid. So we're going to make a grid by going for I equals 0. I is less than width, and W, increment by 1, local I, local J, for that, do end. For J equals 0, J less than, what is it? Length. Increment by 1, do. And then we have local width equals 3. Local length equals 4. And we position them according to a position which dances around, which is a basis of that position. So we probably have a starting position. Where should I go? I should go from top left and then just increment the grid by the run. Okay. So what am I going to call this? I'm just going to make the parts, just spam them. It's very basic. If we want to fix this later, another time, perhaps, then we can. If we do, then bully for us. Oh my god. This thing was getting... Modrith, are you still here? I'm so sorry. 20 minutes ago you asked me a question. In your early career, what development environment did you use? Oh yeah, I've been using Visual Studio forever, since version 4. Visual Studio 4. Beep beep beep. J less than L. Okay, so we're just going to make a local parts or self parts grid. I'm so sorry. The chat had scrolled up and I was stuck at where it was and it wasn't auto scrolling, so I didn't realize you had said anything else. I'm so sorry. Yeah, I mean, IDEs. I have used Visual Studio the most. I've used Eclipse. I've used JetBrains. I've used Vim in a Unix terminal. Hated that. Oh my god. What else have I used? Have I really ever used any more than that? I'm using this thing. No, I've used Xcode. Didn't like that very much. Yeah, I'm very much a Visual Studio girl. I love it. Love Visual Studio. I use Visual Assist, which is a third-party add-on. Kind of expensive in the big scheme of things, although it's 10% off right now this month. And a lot of its features have slowly become standard features of Visual Studio. But with CMake and Visual Studio, you have what ostensibly is the best IDE and the ability to deploy on any platform, because CMake will just generate your project files for any operating system, any platform. So it's kind of a no-brainer to me. You use the best IDE and then tools that generate the solutions for other platforms. It's solid. I'm kind of not sure what I'm doing here. If I have an array of parts, self grid equals an array, and then I go self grid. I'm not sure. I just want it to be linear. I plus j, it's just like local IDX equals 0. Oh, it always starts at 1. Oh, the world sucks. Maybe I don't have to do it that way. Maybe I can just add, insert, mplace, scripts, map manager. I have a grid. I'm just inserting I equals 0. I'm just inserting them. They're just indices. It doesn't matter. If they do index we start at 1, that doesn't mean I have to. So we will go index equals, and when we'll create all of this nonsense, we'll create a part. Oh, my favorite project. Well, it was my own. It was this game. It's called The Meadow. It was a children's game that I designed and built. I made my own proprietary engine for it. It ran for, can you even see that? It was for Windows and Mac. It's for preschool age children, for like children 1 to 5. Is a little soft, a little environment. I don't know if you can see this. There, can you see? Can you see? Can you see? No, forget it. It doesn't matter. Absolutely loved that. Several years and all of my life savings spent on that little labor of love. But I've worked on lots. They're not my favorite at all. I learned everything from every project I've ever worked on. I worked on The Sims, and I worked for EA for 8 years. So I worked on NBA Street Volume 3, FIFA Street Volume 1 and 2, NBA Live 2007. I worked on Sleeping Dogs. I worked on Halo. I worked on Pure Soccer for Ubisoft. I worked on a mobile game, Adventure Time. They're all kind of fun. Worked for an animation studio in Unreal. Presently working for a VR company, and it's a lot of fun. It's in Unreal as well. Lots of different titles. Worked on a million things. But The Meadow, that was my favorite until it broke my heart. Until it was such a failure that I couldn't do anything more with it. I couldn't sink it. It was the sunk cost fallacy, where if you have invested 100% of your net worth into something and it didn't fly, and the argument is that, well, if you just do this to it, then it will be a success. And there are plenty of examples of those types of people. The whole Dyson vacuum dude with his 1,500 prototypes, or with Edison and his 1,000 failures before a light bulb. So there's examples of people who have just failed and failed and failed and failed and failed and failed and failed. I didn't really fail, though. I actually finished my thing, and I failed to sell it, which was the big difference. It wasn't a problem about improving it. It was a done, finished thing. It's just it didn't take off because I don't know how to do marketing at all. And it's not even a learnable skill at this point because it requires fundamentally a different human being to do it. I'm not that human. I'm looking for information about your game on the internet. I'm glad I came across. Oh, it should, that's one of those funny things. I'm just too random. My schedule, I don't know. I'm going to be streaming a lot in the next week as I work on this Roblox game. My goal is over Christmas to finish it, if possible, or at least get it to a much more advanced functional state. So right now is the screw around, learn the language, learn how to make things happen. And then, when people show up in the chat that know stuff and they can correct me, then, they win, I win, we all win, right? I'm very socialist. We're all in this together. The competitive dog-eat-dog nature of the universe is not, I wasn't engineered for that. So I'm going to keep doing this. We need the size. And the size of these things is 1 tall by 5 by 5. And the position, oops. Delete breakpoint. Information about the game. My channel. Is this channel? No, my ClickToy channel had gameplay of it from 10 years ago. ClickToy the Meadow. So here, if you go, that's my company's web page, and it has videos of the game and whatever, some leftover stuff. I'm not retired. I lost my entire life savings making that company and that game, and yeah, I will not be able to recover. I will be working until I die. That's just the way it is. Position. There will be no retirement for me. Vector position. So I would rather have started from a root and then edit the root rather than piss around with this daisy chained thing. So if I just take this and make a local root equals vector blah blah blah, and this root position is the terminal's position plus 5 on the x, the terminal's position plus y, and then we're lifting them off the ground, so plus 2 or plus 3, and then the terminal's position. And now here's the big mystery. If we start the grid at the lower left or closest to the terminal to the left, and then or it goes actually, how am I going to do this? My inner loop is length. I'm going to switch them so it's len width. So we'll go 3 wide, 4 rows. So our root, and then the Z position is going to be our terminal position Z minus 5? Minus 5? Plus 5? Plus 5. I think, and then we subtract 5 as we go. This is assuming a persistent orientation, so the orientation is going to change those numbers. This assumes that it can only ever be built one direction, which is kind of doofy. So these have to be relative offsets. based off of the rotation of the object. If it can be placed arbitrarily, if it's placed world aligned, then this is a fixed alignment, but it doesn't take into account which alignment it is. Not the best thing, okay? I just gonna say. So now our root positions, our positional data is our y will never change and our z will change. So we are xing plus, we are going x plus j times 5, 5 times j, right? 5 times j. And our root is y, and then our root, z, is, oh, wait a minute. No, our x is 5 times I as we go depth, and our sideways is z minus 5 times j. I think that's right. And these are anchored. Anchored equals true. Copy. Paste, paste. So you can touch equals false. And your can collide equals false. I'm sure there's a material button. Here, let's put paste. But yeah, Modrith, you ask me anything. I know I've worked on every major aspect of making a game, every single system. Unfortunately, material equals an enum glass. Enum material determines the texture of the default physical properties of the part. Enum material diamond plate. Oh, okay. Oops. Material wood. Material equals enum material glass. And then we want the brick color. And we're going to alternate. It was. It isn't anymore. It isn't. For the purposes of streaming, it's Sassafras. And that was my old name prior to my transition. So please don't use that name. And don't put names in chat. I don't know if you know that, but don't do that. Now I'm all embarrassed and I want to shut the stream off. Fuck. But I'm kind of a public character, so okay, sorry. Well, you're sorry. You know, I'm comfortable. I'm happily making this game on purpose public here. That's fine. I could just start it back up again and delete the whole thing. The problem, of course, Modrith, you're from a part of the world that kind of globally is recognized as very anti-LGBTQ. You might not be, but your side of the planet is. And so I'm not afraid of an invasion of Poles coming over here to Canada to rough me up or anything, but you might have a cousin, you know. It's all fine. I'm tough. I can handle it. I'm a big girl. Brick color. We have two brick colors. I don't know. We had like gray or something. I lost the color sheet. There it is. We want, oh, okay, how about silver? Thank you, Grayley. So we want to pick two colors. We want color 1, color 2, color 1, color 2. And they are calculated by way of the index value of J. If I made two colors, if I made an array of colors, I will. Grayley, you're awesome. I appreciate you so much. You have no idea. Local colors equals curly brace, and we're going to make our two colors. We're going to make silver and pink. Hot pink, not just any pink, but hot pink, because baby, I love me some hot pink. And so that's index 1 and that's index 2. I think, if I were to guess my universe correctly, if I was to literally just make everything colors bracket 1, I think that's how it bases that as index 1 automatically. So what we really want 1 to be is a calculation of the value of J. So we want it to be J mod 2, but because it's 1 based, it's going to be the other way around. Well, it can be J mod 2. It'll just be 1, 2. How do I do it? Roblox mod 2. Math. What is the mod function in Roblox? The percent operator returns the remainder from a division of two numbers. For example, 3 mod 2 would return 1 as 3 divided by 2. So we want 0 and 1, but then we have to add 1. So if we go J mod 2 plus 1, I think is what we have to do, because that'll give us 0 and 1, and we need it to be 1, 2. And so what we'll end up with is boop, beep, boop. But then and then we want to add mod 2, 0, 1 based off of the x coordinate. I mean, I could, instead of using x and y, I could use I could call that x and y instead of I and j. So this is y, this is x. That's probably easier to read. And what we're doing here with J is X. So we want the color to be mod 2 plus 1, 0 or 1 plus 1. How is this going to work? I don't know if I can think of the math in my head. Oh, I sold 5,000 copies of the game. 2,500 of them I sold kind of a wholesale price to a U.S. library kiosk company. So they installed it on a kiosk with a bunch of other games, and then the kiosks were installed in about 2,500 libraries around the United States. That was the most amazing sale. Like, that was kind of like, boom, that's the business I want to do. But in 2009, the iPad was invented, and I couldn't pivot. An individual, a solo developer, I don't have infinite pockets. They were emptied. I couldn't pivot to rewrite. I tried to. I actually did try, and I managed to get it about 95% ported. But I would have had to rewrite the entire rendering engine to the GLES rendering approach, which mine was fixed function, not fixed function. What is it? It was all a GL. What did I use? I used NVIDIA's CG shader language, and then I made it so that I could use that for both. But then eventually I switched to DirectX for Windows because OpenGL was shite on Windows, and but OpenGL was the only option on OS X. But then regular OpenGL on OS X is not compatible with iPad. So I would have had to write a third renderer, and my heart was broken by that point. Touchscreens, I had to have redesigned the entire user interface to being touch sensitive. I made it keyboard centric because a child watches their parent play on a keyboard all day around the house, and so they want to mimic the parent. If you know anything about children, children are just plain mimics. They just copy you. They copy who you are, what you do, where you go, how you do it, what you say. They're just clones. And so that's why our world is so fucked up, because generation after generation, we have irresponsible, stupid parents being stupid, and stupid population being stupid in front of children who just copy it and go, well, that's the stupid I need to be. And so they repeat it. And then if anybody points it out, they're going, but this is who I am. And it's like, yeah, because your parents were stupid. Don't talk about my parents that way. Well, their parents were stupid. It's just a linear problem of generational stupidity. So, I perceived that at the very least, that if a child was not told no, if they weren't beaten down for doing something that their parents were doing supposedly safely, parent isn't crashing their computer, although some people are stupid and they do. But if a child could safely use the computer, then the computer would diminish in its authority in the house, because I am all about toppling sacred cows. There's nothing special about a computer. There's nothing special about software. There's nothing special about it. I'm nothing special about me. I'm just another meatbag talking into a microphone. I'm really having a trouble trying to do this math here. Mod 2 will give me 0 and 1. Mod 2 will give me 0 and 1. 1 plus 1 is 2. 0 plus 0 is 0. So I would end up with 0 to 2, which is 3. That's a very important advice that Sassafras has just randomly pasted into the chat. Eat cheese. Cheese is good. 0 to 2, no, we don't want that. We want... This ends up being an offset. So every other row, we are starting at 1. So the row starts at 0. So it ends up being mod 0 thing. And then we need to add 1. And that'll give us silver, pink, silver, pink. So what we should see from this is silver, pink, silver. The next one, we want it to be pink, silver, pink. For that to be the case, our offset needs to be, what would that be? Our offset would be 1 or 2. We would want the answer to be 2 or 0. So this would be 0. So 0 mod 2 would be 0 plus y mod 2. Y would be 1, so it would be 1. So that would be 1 plus 1. And y plus 0 is, I think it's x mod 2 plus y mod 2 plus 1. And then that will give us the alternating colors cycle down the row for the number of rows, And brick color, what's the other thing? We need to, I'm excited. When this thing just appears, I'm gonna cry a little bit. Enjoy. Maybe I'll just dance. Parent workspace. Okay, there. So what we should see when we run this is a bunch of parts just kind of go. See how they're not there? You see the parts that aren't there, that are not there? Are they somewhere else? Stop. What's your problem here? Oh, what the hell? I'm trying to 3D rotate around in the code. Was there an error? Attempt to compare nil to a number. What? Okay, math less than. Math documentation. I don't know how to do math in this type of language. There's functions. Libraries. How do you do math? I thought I covered all of this. Data types. Isn't there just like a number? A number sequence? A number? Enum? Not like base data types. Overview? Classes? Data types? How do you do math? Operators. And. Or. Not. If. Less than. What are you talking about? Why is there, what's wrong with that? Attempt to compare nil number. Oh, I've got an I there. Sorry, my bad. The position is Y, X. That's why they were invisible. But I don't understand this comparison thing. Maybe that's fixed now. Nope, it's still there. If 0 is less than len, how is that a nil value? It's not nil. What the hell? Equals 0? Equals 0? Invalid for limit. Why? Number expected, I got a Boolean. What? Oh! What? Okay, I need to relearn how for loops work. What? Roblox. How to for loop. how for loops work. For count equals 0. Oh. I don't have to go less than 10. It's not a conditional, it's a limit. Oh. Oh. I'm a silly banana. Okay, let's try that again. Oh, look it almost worked. Oh, la 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 la. It's too high, but it's there. And it went the wrong direction. What the heck direction is X anyways? Okay, well, that's excited. That makes me really, so we're trying for this. So the fact that we got almost there, and we actually need to do another thing. We got material, we need to do translucency or transparency. Dot transparency equals, we're going to go with 0. I'm all excited. 0.65. And this brick color is probably wrong, and the positions are probably wrong. So we want root x is 5 plus x. I don't know. Root y, root z. And root y is too tall, right? So we're going to make that only 2. And z, I'll just make it plus. We'll just see what happens. Z plus y. Run. Okay, that's better. Colors are wrong. Everything is the same color. I don't have any error. What's this? Animator evaluation thread is not enabled. Invalid argument to new. What? Oh, what did I? Colors expected got nil. Oh, I guess I should print that out. So if I print the value that this produces, so let's just do that as local color index equals that, and then we'll print that. Color index equals comma color index. Then that can turn into color index. The other thing we want to see if we are actually spamming 0 to 3. So I want to output these numbers, the positions. I guess I can just do that. I can print oh, I don't ever increment the index. What a ninny. What a ninny I am. In IDX equals IDX plus 1. I just kept writing over top of the same one. I'm so silly belly. Then what? Grid, comma. Okay, so we'll go grid IDX at grid position. Copy, paste. Now we will have debugging information that tells us stuff. So there's our grid, and then let's take a look at it. Grid 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then it just mysteriously stopped making grids. Grid at 18, 5, 4, 15, 23, 5, 4, 15, 28, 4, 15. So that's right, and then this should have gotten reset. Grid 3 should have been at 18.5, 4, 20. Oh, there. 1, 2, 3, 4. Why would it go 4 deep? And then only 2. And then it got an error and it stopped processing. Aha. Calendar index 3. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, and then we got the 3. Why would we get it's wrong. Maybe I should just take all of it in mod 2? That seems insanity. Here, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to do that. We'll just do 2. It'll just go back and forth, back and forth. So we should end up with 3 rows of pink or gray, pink, gray. And we'll forget about this extra math. I know that I can figure that out. I just don't know what it is yet. Play. Oh, we still got an error. Oh, because I have to add 1 plus 1. Perfect. Okay. So there is an absolutely way too big grid. It's 4 by 4. What the hell? Have I made some kind of another stupid mistake? X by width, Y by length. Our X position. Okay, we'll start with that first one. The X position is correct. That's the right starting point. But the Z position should be over here. So Z is wrong. And it made it a 5 by 5? How is that even make any sense? It's not possible! Oh, is it going inclusive? This makes me so sad. I literally have to make these be 1 indexed. I hate the world. It goes to it includes, it's inclusive of the limit. So if you want it to be less than the limit, I guess I could go 0. If I want to be 0. If I want to fight the system, then it'd be length minus 1, width minus 1. And it's now a 4 by 4 grid. No, 4 by 3. Okay, I did it. That's what I wanted. Okay, so it's a 4 by 3, but it should be 3 wide by 4 deep. Why is it wrong? I don't think I know what direction things are. That is X, positive Z. Okay, so based off of the location of where this is, positive X is correct. Positive Z, I need to like minus 5 to initialize the root in the correct place. And then I want to do, and that's not, it shouldn't be the letter Y, it should be the letter Z. Z, Z, Z. We're ignoring that one. So that should start us in the right spot. we do this 4 times. We do this 3 times. So we're taking our x multiplied by x, which will be 0. And our y will be 0. So we should do this 3 times, x, x, x. But it's going 4. Does it, what does, play? Okay, we're getting closer. It's almost right. See? These 3 tiles are centered correctly, but that's wrong. That should be over there. Okay, now let's look at our output. Grid 0 is 18, 4, 5, 23, 4, 5, 28, 4, 5, 18, 4, 10, 23, 4, 10, 28, 4, 10, 18, 4, 15, 15, 15, 20, 20, 20. Oh. I'm a dummy. I thought I was incrementing x. Based off of this orientation, we want the length to be x. The values are backwards. Z starts at -5 and goes across the width. So x is depth. Sorry. My bad. Look at that. See? Now it's right. Do, 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 do. And there's our little hologram. And then what? Then we want to color them alternating. Now the alternating colors didn't even work. Color index 1, color index 2. Stop. I feel like we should have seen the corresponding color. Comma equals, comma, paste color index. So we should see silver, hot pink, silver, hot pink, silver, hot pink. But they're all blue. Worse is, oh, I see. We should have gotten a row of should have gotten, I'm confused. 5, 10, 15, 5, 10, 15, 5, 10, 15, 5, 10, 15. Color index nil silver, nil silver. Why would it be nil? I guess I'm just fighting the system by using the number 0. Oh, why would you make the number 0 be equal to nil? Why would you call it nil? It's a number, for God's sakes. Don't do that. How can you go 5 times 0? You can't do math without the number 0. Come on, you guys. Zero has superpowers. Anything times 0 is 0. Why would you say, oh, now it's nil? Oh, I got an M there. That's why. Never mind. Let's play that again and see what the numbers say. Color index 1, 1, 1, 2, 2, 2, 1, 1, 1, 2, 2, 2. So I should be seeing the colors, but they're not getting applied. Like those ones are applied, but these ones aren't. Why aren't they being applied? Brick color. Material is glass. Brick color. What else do I have to do? Surface type? Is that important? Maybe it matters. Material. Top surface type is smooth. Maybe that's what gives it the ability to carry a color. Nope. Made no difference. Well, now it's shiny. Maybe hot pink isn't a color? Maybe that's why? I thought it was. Find hot. It is, oh, it's hot little pink. Stop. Maybe it's case sensitive. I put a capital P. Ah, that's the problem. Okay, so now we have our grays and okay, good. Let's go back to our thing. Now we can fix our color. So we're going to start with Z mod 2 plus 1 should give us silver pink, silver. And then we want to add, well, okay, silver, pink, silver. Okay. And then we want to add the influence of the climbing X. So if X is 1 and Y is 1, then that'll be 2, which would be wrong. So we kind of want to invert it. So what if I added X to Z? Z plus X, which would be, that would invert it, wouldn't it? So if I went Z plus X mod 2 plus 1. That should give me the alternating colors. There we go. Dee dee dee. Boopy boopy doopy doo. How awesome. I have no idea. This is just, and then the idea is now you collect your scrap and you place blocks. When you're standing on the grid, this thing goes and appears, and then you can then place blocks somehow with your mouse. The mouse does a ray trace. Is that a superpower that you can do in Roblox? Roblox mouse ray cast intersection. Ray plane intercepting. When I click on the screen, I want bullets to follow exactly where the mouse is. This only works when the player is standing still. How do you get raycast direction in Roblox? Origin plus direction vector indicates the ray's destination. Ray origin, ray destination. Okay, there is a whole raycasting. Raycasting is the act of sending out an invisible ray from a vector point to a direction. Once cast, it can detect if the ray hits a base part or a trained cell. Lasers fired by the flying orbs. Casting a ray. You can cast a ray with the raycast method from a vector origin. Filtering. Filter type. Calculating direction. Detecting hits. My brain is tired. I think I need to eat something. It's what time is it? It's 1 o'clock already. I think I need to go and eat a snack. I have a snack. I have a sandwich upstairs. I could go eat my sandwich. Wouldn't that be nice? So what I'm imagining, well, see, I imagined that, and now I've created that. How cool. I'm so happy. Okay, what it means is I can delete this stupid thing. Delete. 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 This pleases me no end, that there's no world at all, and then I press play, and then stuff appears. That's tickles my boat. So probably, I don't know if that would even be visible unless you stood on it. How about we do that? Is there a visibility setting on a block? Cast shadow, arc, transform, can touch, anchored, neutral. Appearance. Oh, you can move the pivots. Interesting, okay. Oh, you can enable it. No, that's a behavior. Okay, let's go back to a Roblox block visibility. How to make block visible. That's not the answer. How do you make an invisible block? Set the transparency. Transparent block, invisible block. How do you hide objects? All you have to do is group the object and move the object there. Then when you want to move it back, ungroup. You literally move quickly. Hide selected objects. Just move them. Move all selected objects to server storage. That seems awful. I don't think I understand. What does this mean? Okay, let's ask the universe here. Groups. So if I make a tile, I make a part, block. It has appearance and block and transparent. It's archivable and locked and named and parented. It has size and position. It has collision group. Tags, attributes. What kind of tag? I can add a tag. Search for tags. I can give it arbitrary attributes. If I made another part and then I selected both of them, what does that mean? Group? Group is a folder? Hmm. Hmm. Server storage. You copy and paste them and move them to server storage. What a weird statement. Quickly hide them. Group the objects, move them when you want to move them back. The quick hide plugin to hide objects. Not convinced. So the fact that I have created the grid means that it exists. But what I want them to do is I want them to not exist if you're not standing on the pad. So hideously, I could have generated them this way, and I could just loop through the grid and set their transparency to 0, which is unfortunate because they're there, but they're not touchable. It seems awful. It seems so horrible. So if we have hit this and we are in here, you are using the fabricator, what I'm really kind of hopelessly thinking I have to do is map manager player manager. Yeah, that's awful. Script manager for not iPairs, just go pairs. Fabricator. I can go for the key value in pairs of self.grid do this. Grid. Stop it. Self dot. Okay, I'm going through them all. So I have each element in the grid. So all I need to do is go value dot transparency. Let's find the right word. Whoops. Copy. Transparency equals 0. No, equals 0.65. And when we have ended is now available, we set everybody to 0. Kerplunk, kerplunk. So what we should now see is no. Oh, equals 1. Okay, that actually worked. Equals 1. I did it again. Run. Dee 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 dee. Ah, bloop. Ah, bloop. Ah, bloop. Ah, bloop. I'm happy with that. That's all of this is kind of weird progress, I would have to say. The next mystery is how to build a car. I don't even know. I think I need to go play one of the Roblox games to see what the mechanic is for building things. There is a game, Roblox player. Search plane crazy. Plane crazy. Play. So there's this game. Welcome to playing this. You can okay. Open the build menu by clicking an orange box. Aha. And now we have block placement. Blocks, wedges, half blocks. That's the center of the mass. Fuel box. So they've got this, they're ray tracing to determine the face, and the ground is a face. So in my little weird grid, either the grid is the bottom or something like that. Now we're going to need wings. Click on the wings icon and put a wing panel. We're going to be using the 1x2 wings. Automatically selects the first item. There's no way to turn. We need control surfaces. And then use R and T. And Y. I don't understand. Oh. Okay, see the blue marker? That's the center of lift. Being held up from this point by a piece of string. This is all very complicated. I'm not doing all of this. Needs an engine. The blocks have moved the center of gravity away from the center of lift. I didn't notice. The center of mass and center of lift should line up as closely as possible. Select the delete tool and the red button in the bottom left corner. Click a block to delete it. Or still instead of, let's get some landing gear to fix it. We have to move the plane up. Oh. 1, 2, 3. Interesting. Okay. This is
Hilo? Percolate.
is that not enough times? Okay. What does 3 times mean? How many times? What do I gotta do? Uh-huh. Okay, this tutorial is broken. Skip tutorial. Now I don't know what to do. Landing gear, small landing gear. Where do I put it? On the wings? Now it's too much. Oh, there's perfect, but now it's too low. Oh no, it started over again. is Madre. You're still here. My kids are the designers of the dumb little game that I'm trying to make. Well, it's not dumb. It's actually kind of adorable. I think they played this a lot, and this is part of, we are all products of the things we've seen in the past. How's it going, Hilo? Great. That's the center of the mass. Fuel blocks. Okay. Now it needs wings. Wing panels. Automatically selects them. Next. Place them as shown. Got it. Now it has lift, but has no way to turn. We need to add control surfaces. Control surfaces. Place them in the highlighted spots. Got it. Ooh. T. 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 Y. R, 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 R. T, T. R, R. Great. See the blue marker? That's the center of lift. It's like your plane's being held up from this point. Almost done, just a few parts left. Our plane needs an engine. Switch to the engine tab. Click on the propellers button. Place the small propeller engine on the front of the plane. Small propeller engine. Hang on. Notice that the blocks have moved the center of mass, yellow, away from the center of lift, blue. Next. The center of mass and center of lift should line up as closely as possible, or otherwise your plane will be unstable. Select the delete tool using the red button at the bottom of the screen. Click a block to delete it. Delete the two blocks at the rear of the plane. The red X is the delete all button, but we don't need that now. Seems that the center of lift and center of mass are still unstable. Let's place some landing gears. We have to move the plane before we can place the landing gears. Select the move tool. Great. Now move the plane up 3 times. 1, 2, 3. Okay. It doesn't want to work. It's broken! I've never been to Poland. Never been to Poland. My lineage is Hungarian, but it might be Polish-Hungarian. The family name came through, may have originated in Poland. So I don't know. I consider myself half Hungarian in that regard. But it might have been that the family was, they spoke Hungarian, they came from Hungary, born in Hungary, so it might have been one of those things that it was like of Polish descent into Hungary, and then they lived in Hungary, etc., and then moved to Canada. I don't know. I've been to Europe several times, Germany and France and stuff. Lived in Germany for 3 months when a student exchange. That was amazing. I love Germany. Love Europe in general. Okay, this isn't working. Anyways, point is, I have moved the plane up. 1, 2, 3. Enter. Done. Okay. Now what? Tutorial's broken. And then I need to put small landing gear. Stuck on engine. Okay, I'm going to skip the tutorial because now it's just broken. Small landing gear. How does this work? R? T? R? Do these things open outwards? I don't know, let's just fly it. Pilot seat's required. Where do you get that from? Seats. Oh, I see. I gotta rotate it. Oh. I want to delete that one. No. What the? Come on. Delete that. This is not working very well. And these aren't attached. I don't really understand how this works. I can delete everything, yes. I don't really want to do this. I wanted to see how the building mechanic worked. I don't care to try to make actual functioning things in this. Okay, so we got raycasting and then raycasting the blocks. So if I just exit out of this stupid thing, close blocks. Okay, so for my interest, what we want to do is we want to do some raycasting. You can exempt any base part from hit detection by setting base part can query property to false. Oh. We want everything to be false. We only want this. We kind of want it to only be true when you're editing. So when you're in this mode, I'm kind of thinking what I want is that this, you stand on here and then you're standing there and you kind of look around, except you can't walk around. You just have this. So that's maybe not the best design. Or maybe this pad is the entire floor so that you can run around the thing, and it's all invisible and you can stand inside of it and there's no collision with it. Maybe I should make that skinnier. So the fabricator grid height could be just like 0.1 run. See, that looks way cooler, doesn't it? And then what we want to do for testing is we want to raycast into these things which tile we're hitting. And whichever tile we're hitting is where a block will appear. Boom, 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 boom. Well, it's a little bit, it's not optimal. This might not be this might not be a good mechanism. Or, once you're there, the arrow keys switch to, I don't know what the design is supposed to be for building a car. How are you supposed to build a car? You're supposed to just run around it and gluing parts on it? Maybe you run up and you turn on, you come here and it shows the grid, and then you press a button on this thing and that turns it on, and then you are now on and you run around and you come back here and you turn it off. I don't know. I don't know what the build mechanic should be, and that's kind of high. Maybe it's actually, well, things you need to be able to hang wheels off of it, so I don't think it's wrong. I'm not sure. Really not sure. So let's go with a raycast. We just need to be able to raycast these tiles. That's like the first step. So calculating the direction, when applicable, you can calculate an unknown direction vector using norm thing, origin, workspace test origin position, ray destination, workplace destination position, ray direction, raycast result, raycast. If the raycast operation, okay, but I want to know the mouse screen to world position. So this is good information, but I want to go Roblox mouse screen to world point. 2D screen position to 3D world position. Why wouldn't this be like generic everything code? You should be able to use the screen point to ray. Okay, what is this person trying to do? I'm trying to convert a 2D position on the user screen to 3D world position. Currently, there's only a function doing the opposite, which is world screen point. Does anyone know any methods I could use to translate a 2D position on the screen to 3D position? Also, it needs to be possible to do this in the ignore list because objects such as the user's camera would get in the way of finding this position. Target is implemented as a raycast. Code and functions that somebody supplied are almost exactly how the target hit whatever properties are calculated internally. It's the equivalent of something like this. You can't use this code because of API restrictions, though. Local user input service. Should be able to use screen point to ray or viewpoint to ray, depending on your use case. Another way would be to use without rays at all, using a custom screen to world translation by using a function. The one that I use to convert the user's mouse pointer to world position in viewport frames. Yeah. Target is implemented as a raycast with the code and functions in JSplit are almost exactly how it works, equivalent something like this, but you can't use this. User input service, player service, input change, connect, game processed event, input position, mouse unit ray, screen point to ray, you can't use this code because of API restrictions. Those two functions are what you want to convert 2D positions to 3D coordinates. Screen point to ray accounts for GUI pace, thus the inset of 36%. The viewport is for the screen, so it's going Why can't, what are you supposed to use? If you're not supposed to use it, what are you supposed to use? Mysteries abound. After some slight modification. Is mouse just a generic thing that we can get? Get service players, local player, get mouse. Okay, well, let's just try this. First things first, we want the player manager's mouse. How am I going to do this? When we're interacting with the fabricator, with the world, with things, we're going to interact with things. So kind of need an input manager, and the input manager gets the mouse, and if we want a ray into the world, we query it and we hand it an include list of things it can collide with, or where should I put this code? I'm not sure. I just want the mouse to be printing constantly where it is in the screen. A connected player has been added to the player manager. Players have inventory. It's not the player manager. It is not the player. It is the local input. It's an input manager. So I think I need an input manager. We will rename that to input manager. And I will take one of these modules that's simple, copy, input manager, paste, and and then we'll grab the player's local mouse, copy, and I think I made an update function, mob manager, map manager, fabricate mob, map. I think the map manager I made an update function. Did I make that for everyone or just for the map? While map manager update. So I'm going to duplicate. Oh, I can't just duplicate code. Input manager. We will, I don't know. Self dot mouse equals probably not the way to do this. I probably would want to get, what is this? Unknown global self. Yeah, there's this. Local self meta table. So modules don't have this. So the input manager may support multiple inputs. So what I actually want to have is a class mouse, and then the mouse could be doing the class. So mouse controller or player controller. I guess that's really what this is. This is the player controller, and the player controller the fuck am I doing? Plus module rename player controller, and then the player controller will be part of the input manager. It will create that. So the player controller will look like some simple piece of crap. It will have it. I'll just select everything, player controller, everything, paste. We'll get rid of all of this. We will go and put our self mouse paste equals the mouse, and then we will probably have the input manager, like the map manager, have a list of inputs or something, I don't know, of controllers. Controllers. And just like the map manager, it will just insert into the input manager a player controller dot new bracket, and this will be controller I don't know, one. Don't know. And player controller new self mouse equals that, and we end up with a module dot get world position equals function self and return screen point to ray. So we want the screen point of the mouse, but why can't you get this input position of the input object? It's just like mouse position. But at this point, if I just do that, if I just go self.mouse dot little p or big P position, input manager has got a G underscore G colon player position new, and like the map manager, we have an update function. I'm hating this, just by the way, in case anybody thinks this is grid. This is all awful. Whoops. And we want to go controllers one dot get world pause. No, colon get world pause, and we can print this controllers, and we can go print controller get world pause, and that should print off constantly the mouse position in theory. And then in our main thing we will duplicate that line, copy paste, and now we have input manager gets updated constantly. In theory, everything's broken. Attempted to call a nil value. G scrap. Oh, it's capital new. Ugh. Is it really? New. Scrap module new function equals, yeah, controller module new function equals the player's mouse, return the player's mouse position, And the input manager now is getting the proper no, and then and okay. Still a bug. Attempt nil. Oh, it doesn't. We don't have the get service. I need to include the service. No, we're getting the game service players. Hey, baby. Come here. Oh, who's beautiful? My little elf. Meow, meow, meow. This is my baby. This is Gladys. She's 6 months old. She just got spayed yesterday. So she's in her onesie so that she doesn't nibble away at her injury site. I didn't want her to wear a cone. I wouldn't want to wear a cone. You want to say hi? Say hi. Yeah, you're so lovely. Would get better reception. True enough. True enough. Who is so beautiful? The fun thing about, of course, is that once she's here in my arms, I can't do anything. If I try to put her back down, she just wants up again. So, isn't that right, my baby? You just want me to lay back and let you sleep? cat trap. Okay, you're gonna sit here. Put your head on the pillow. Kitty cam. Yes, you are beautiful. And that's as far as I can get anything done today. Is that everything? It was playtime over? Am I done? I have to work with you now? So, hey baby. Are you a little bit unable to do anything with your little jacket? Like a little straight jacket? Go to sleep. Ow! Ow! Psst. Say hello. She said hello. Okay, you know what I'll do? I'll put you over here. And then I'll aim the camera over you, at you, in your little box. With your tail flipping. I just have the one cat. Yep. Let's see if I can aim it just right. Can I change the zoom? Properties? Filters? Add a oh, that's an audio video factor. I just want to scroll, crop pad. $300, $400, $500, $500, and she walks away. Okay, so if she comes back to her box, there would be the cat box. So, I don't think I know how to get a mouse. Get service players, local player, get mouse does not, it returns null. So how do I get the mouse? Roblox, get mouse. B. Mouse documentation. There we go. Get service players, players local player, player get mouse. Setting the mouse icon. Roblox asset system cursor wait. Well, isn't that fun? So the long form answer of this is you can do that, and then I can store the mouse in my mouse. So I'll just do that. I'll go like that, and let's run that and see what it says. Attempt to index nil. So player is nil. So I can't get the local player. Why not? Why not? Why can I not? The object does not control restrict pointer. The mouse has been superseded by user input service and context action service, which covers a broader scope, more feature-rich, more cross-platform. It remains supported due to widespread use, but you should not use it. Well, then let's go to the user input service. It's not creatable. It's a service used to detect and capture different types of input available on a user's device. Okay. Code sample demonstrates one of many usages of the user input service. We must get it before we can use it. Okay. So this doesn't work. Local player is not returning me an actual mouse. It's returning, or a player. It's returning me nothing. How do I do this? Seems like pretty darn necessary functionality to describe. Okay, there's lots of code samples, so we should be able to find something. How about on-screen keyboard size, on-screen touch enabled, VR enabled, get device acceleration, get mouse location. Code sample. So we get the user input service, we get a run service, we get the GUI script parent, screen GUI, local, move it. So user input service get mouse location returns us a mouse location vector or two-dimensional vector. So all this is garbage. And if we just want the mouse position, then we get a mouse position, mouse location, and there's our mouse location. Let's try that. Run. Oh, goody. It's always -1, -1. What? Why? Why is it always the same? Stop. It's a number, but it's a bullshit number. How to move GUI? I don't want to move it. I just want to get it. This example binds the move to mouse. Get mouse location. This function returns a vector 2 representing the current screen location of the player's mouse in pixels relative to the top left corner. This does not account for the GUI inset. If the location of the mouse pointer is off screen or the player device does not have a mouse, the value returned will be undetermined. A user input surface is client side only. This function can only be used in a local script. Oh, of course, it makes perfect sense. So, the local. Oh, okay. Of course, the server doesn't have a mouse. So, what am I querying? Nothing. Garbage. So, the local client would get this interface and it would. I would be replicating what you're selecting or where you're placing a block to the server so that you would see the replicated construction blocks. This is so complicated. I'm hungry. I have been streaming for 3.5 hours. I need a snack. I could just take a break and come back. Would anybody rather have me come back, or has this reached the limit of its interest? I don't even know. I think the viewers are mostly robots or friends who are busy doing other things. Not really sure. Okay, so I don't yet have a philosophy about how local scripts are supposed to be organized. The local script, clearly, so this nonsense that I just cooked up here for player controller, this is nonsense. This wouldn't be here. Would it be here? Would I just go script? Come on, stop it. Script, can I make a module script there? I can. Can I just move a module script from here to there? I can. I will just delete that one. So if I now have a player controller there, that means I need a player local loop, just like the server. And the player loop is going to... Do I have to run all this code that finds client classes? I'm not really sure. I don't have a philosophy about this. Maybe I'll just make a script, and in this script I will add a while true. And in that while true script, I will create one of these. I don't know. I don't really know how to do this. Why don't I just do what I copied up from over here? I just want to allocate one of these. Script. So before true, we're going to allocate it. Player new. So local controller equals player new. Okay, what? Underscore G, comma? Does that make it work? And then I'll just go controller update and get rid of that. Is that going to just work? Or do I have to go script? I don't really know. And then I'm just going to delete that. And I'm going to go here. And I'm going to delete that. And then I'll run. And I'll probably get nils and stuff. hello added player. Yeah, it doesn't know what that is. So, how does this work? Local, okay, Roblox, local script class, new. Local script documentation. No examples. Perfect. Local workspace. Local player, layer player, local player. Script parent. Organizing classes and objects. Okay. Shared classes, modules, loaded players, modules, get children, iPairs, classes, folders, modules, players. Yeah. I just starting research. How can I make it? My main script, I have tables. Yeah. Not sure how helpful this. Module in it. Classes, some class new. So you have to specify the folder. I mean, that's interesting. Oh, require. You require it. That's what I'm not doing. Okay, so I would require. It's not G. I would require. Player controller. Require module. So how do I specify the path? I need path to module. So scripts dot player workspace dot scripts, and it's capital W, workspace dot scripts dot player controller, and then that allows me to create a player controller. Should I call everything player controller? Player controller. And then it'll work. Script.player controller. Now that's wrong. Script is not a valid member of workspace. Workspace player controller? I have no idea. No idea. What is path to module supposed to mean? Roblox path to module. This module, I don't want a forum. Where do you put Roblox module scripts? Are commonplace in server scripts replicated when used by client-side local scripts, such as GUI interactions. Introduction to module scripts. What's the simple path to opening source? I'm kind of tired. I want to eat something, and this is pissing me off. So this is a crap stream. I'm sorry for wasting your time. There's a whole bunch of silence. I wanted to just talk with people and not talk to myself for 4 hours. Thank you for those who did talk. You're wonderful. Hope you have a good day. I'm gonna go eat food and then maybe go play a video game or something. But yeah, and if I do, maybe I'll stream that and I'll stream it on Twitch. But all of a sudden, I'm annoyed with the dead end of the documentation. It's like, we don't want to tell you how to figure out anything. You've got to figure out what you think you need to figure out, and then you could Google it, and then maybe there will be a page somewhere that explains what you're trying to do, but poorly, with no real good solid examples. And if there is an example, it'll be for something else. So, yeah, I've reached my limit for now. We'll see you later. Thanks for watching.